The function was presided over by a wealthy industrialist who was alleged to be a tax evader. He had agreed to donate a huge sum. And then I have the blank, and then I have they were of the opinion that both means and ends should be pure. See, one other quick way to do this is, before we even look at the options quickly, right? If we can zero in or narrow in on these hint words and clue phrases, for example, they were of the, look at the closing sentence. Let's do this a little differently, right? They were of the opinion that both means and ends should be pure. Who's the they? I'll have to look at a sentence that is supporting the closing sentence, right? And they were of the opinion that both means and ends should be pure, which means the sentence before this has to be, this closing sentence is very morally upright, okay? Moral standards, which means there's something immoral that has been mentioned earlier. Now from the given options, let's look at A. A says he was invited not because he was genuinely interested in the activity, but he had agreed to donate a huge sum. Who is this he? Topic sentence says the function was presided over by a wealthy industrialist who was alleged to be a tax evader. He had agreed to donate a huge sum. So obviously the he is referring to the wealthy industrialist who was alleged to be a tax evader. Presided over means he was like the chairperson, right? So having looked at that, and then B also says many organizers had reluctantly taken this decision because they felt that so long as they are doing a good cause, it does not matter where the money comes from. So this is decision 1, right? And this is also a decision. It says here, taken this decision. Now if I look at A and B, my only thing is both convey the same meaning actually, if you see, right? He was invited not because he was genuinely interested in the activity, but he had agreed to donate a huge sum. B also says many organizers had reluctantly taken it because they felt that so long as they're doing a good cause, it does not matter where the money comes from. So both the context is talking about this person willing to give a lot of money, right? So some sort of decisions were taken in A and B, but both convey the same meaning. And if you look at C, it says some of the organizers were opposed to this strategy. What strategy? That it does not matter where the money comes from, or that this person, though is not genuinely interested, as long as he is willing to give a huge sum of money, I'm okay with that, right? So some of the organizers were opposed to this strategy, or of the other section of organizers can relate to either B or A. I'm going step by step so you don't get confused, right? I'm going to break it down again for you in case you're not following. So what I'm trying to say is point C can be linked to either B or A, okay? Some of the organizers were opposed to this strategy. What strategy are we talking about? Strategy 1, does not matter where the money comes from. Strategy 2, huge sum of money coming in, right? Even though this person was not interested. So if you look at it, some of the organizers were opposed to the strategy of the other section of organizers can either mean C or A, and I definitely have to have C before this closing sentence. Why is that? Can somebody answer me? They were of the opinion that both means and ends should be pure, meaning it doesn't matter the means in which we are getting it, the channel through which we are getting it. So it's not just the person, right? But also the channel in which we are getting it, which means some of the organizers were opposed to this strategy of the, why were they opposed to this strategy? Because they were of the opinion that both ends in, so C, so if you look at the sequence, C has to be there. So I have to choose something which has C for sure, okay? But since A and B are still talking about the same thing, I can either have A or C, or I can have B or C. And which is the option that gives me that? I'm saying they is here referring to the organizers, right? The organizers who were opposing these two strategies in sentence A and sentence B. Sentence A is saying what? Hey, we are going to get a lot of money. It doesn't matter where it comes from, right? Strategy 2. In B, many organizers had reluctantly taken this decision because they felt that so long as they are doing a good cause, it does not matter where the money coming from. Huge sum of money coming in again. So for me, both A and B are stating the same thing, more or less. right? In that case, some of the organizers were opposed to the strategy. It can either be A or it can be B. Right? They can be pissed off saying, hey, this person anyway is not interested. Why have you made him the chairperson? Just because he's willing to give a lot of money. Second thing is saying, this is for a good cause. Right? So it does not matter where the money comes from. Though this person, see, because it says he is alleged to be a tax evader. So they are trying to decide, should we even take money from a tax evader? But they are not bothered about that because it's for a good cause. He is willing to give the money. So let's give. So some of the organizers were opposed to this strategy. It can either be A or B. They were of the opinion that both means and ends should be pure. That's why they were opposing it. Okay. So it can either be A and C or B and C. Got it? Okay. Want the answer? The answer is 5. I'm going to move forward.